Hello there, welcome back to my channel. So behind me here is my Outdoors RV 24 RLS model, and down here on the table I have a new lock. This is a new product by a company that provides a lot of locks to most RV manufacturers. It's Global Link, also known as RVLocksandMore.com. So this is a keypad entry, keyless entry system that they've recently come out with. And here's the instruction sheet that gives a little image of what it looks like. This is instead of a paddle handle, it actually has a big grab handle, and then 5 buttons across the bottom here. The reason I opted to go with this style lock as opposed to one of the competitors' products is it will be key-like to my other RV locks. It's very convenient to have one key to open all of my doors, and my other RV has a Global Link lock on it, as well as my cargo trailer, and both of those use the same key. So I wasn't willing to sacrifice giving up the ability to have everything key-like by switching to a different brand of lock. And here is the actual lock. This is made in 2 different styles, a right hand and a left hand. This is for a left-hand door. A left-hand door has the hinges on the left side and the door handle on the right side. So what we'll do to install this is pull off this plate, remove the old lock, and this one will drop right in its place. And these 2 connectors, this is where the battery is, right here in this little door. Old lock is pretty straightforward to remove. We pull out these 2 screws here, and then on the inside we pull out those 4 screws. Pull these 4 screws out. When you install the new screws with the new lock, it's not a bad idea to put a little drop of liquid thread lock in the blue variety on these screws. That will keep them from loosening them up and backing out over time. And when you're doing the last screw, go ahead and hold on to the outside portion of the handle so it doesn't drop out. And just pull it out and kind of slide it towards the middle of the door. Installing the new one similar. Take your little wire plug and make sure that it's poking through the hole here. Might have to hold on to it a little bit. And insert the handle at an angle from the outside of the door. You can see I've got a hold of that. And that's all there is to it. It actually dropped right into place real easy. And then take your inside handle and connect the little wire harness to the outside portion of the handle, and then just be careful that the outside handle doesn't fall out of the door. A good idea would be to use some masking tape to hold the outside portion of the door handle in place in the door, and then also be sure to remove the little plastic spacers on the inside handle. The little red handle will need to be oriented correctly so that it drops in over the pin on the outside portion of the lock. And then we'll go ahead and install the screws. And like I mentioned before, it's not a bad idea to put a little bit of blue Loctite on the screws. And I'm not going to tighten all the screws up once I get them threaded in, because what I'll do before tightening them up is get the handle aligned correctly in the door, and then also put my end plate on. End plate for the new and old is the same, so it doesn't matter if you use the one that came with the new lock or the existing one. And these screws also, not a bad idea to install a little bit of thread lock. It's not necessary to cinch these screws super tight, because what it will do is deform the door, particularly the inside of the door, which is how my original handle was. These 2 screws were really tight, and it depressed this really thin layer of material into the foam some. And here's a brief overview of how the lock works. So to lock the lock, we'll press the 1, 2, 3, 4 button at the same time, and it beeps to indicate that it's locked. And then to unlock it, press any key to wake the lock up. When it's in its awake mode, the backlighting in the keypad will light up, and then we'll go ahead and punch in our code. And then it beeps again, and it's unlocked. It's awake anytime the keypad is lit up. To change the code, and it actually comes shipped with a master code set, which is a code that you can't change, and that code always remains in effect, but you can add another code. Press the 90 button for a few seconds, the lock will beep, and then what we have to do is enter in the master code. That code is indicated on the instruction sheet that came with the lock. So we'll press 90. It beeps. Now I'll enter my secret master code. Beeps again, indicating that it's in programming mode. Now I'll set my own code. Now it's accepted that code. Now we press it again. And a different sequence of beeps to indicate that it's good to go. Wait till the lock goes to sleep. Press these 2 buttons to lock it. It's now locked. Now I'll enter my secret code to unlock, which is my new code that I just programmed. Press it once to wake it up. And it beeps, indicating that it's unlocked. After I've used the door and came in and out a few times with the new handle installed, I noticed that this inside handle has been redesigned. The original design was a little paddle. Here's the original design. It was a little paddle handle. And I actually like the new design better because it's a little bit more user-friendly, easier to use. There's been a few times where I've opened the door and kind of came out too fast and my fingers sort of got stuck back there as I'm going down the steps. To change the battery, you pull this screw out. You don't actually unthread it all the way from the lid. It's captive inside the lid, so just loosen it up, then the lid comes off. And then right below that, the little dot right there, that's a low battery indicator light. So when the voltage of the battery gets down to a certain point, then it lights up that light indicating that it's time to change the battery. This shows how the screw is captive in the cap. It uses a CR123 style battery, and it actually comes with a very high quality battery. This is an Energizer lithium battery. If you use your RV in a colder climate, then when it comes time to replace the battery in the lock, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and stick with a lithium battery. The interior of the lock is the same for the left or the right. So depending on whether you have a left or a right handle dictates where this is and where the light is. If you had a right-handed door, this light will be on the top, this red handle will be on the bottom, and then of course this will not be upside down, and then your emergency release would also be down here. And then on the outside, the only difference is that the keypad would be oriented with the numbers reverse of what they are here, meaning the 1, 2 would be over here instead of over there. And then of course they would also be at the bottom. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that gives you a little bit of background information on this new style lock. I know I'm going to look forward to having a keyless entry lock that is also keyed like all of my other locks on my big cargo trailer, my small cargo trailer, and also on my truck camper. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and also be sure to hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload a new video. And also, if you've got any questions, leave those in the comments below and I will be sure to answer those. Thanks.